Can't believe people ask so many questions, mate. I'm not that interesting. And Taylor isn't. Definitely not.
Oh, this is to me. What is one thing Alex has introduced to you, to your world, that you couldn't live without now? One thing.
There's loads of stuff there, isn't there?
Like what?
Oh, cuisine.
I'm trying to think like something I couldn't live without now that maybe is like a part of my everyday life. I think it's not like an actual object, but one thing I couldn't live without now is probably humor and banter. I've gotten good at it, haven't I?
Yeah, you're getting a lot better. Like, everyone keeps saying what vids you turn in English.
Exactly. So I feel like now that's just never gonna leave me, and I struggle trying to like make people laugh here in the US because I feel like they don't get me, and I'm American, I'm one of them, but they don't get me because I feel like I've picked up his humor. So that's probably one thing.
You also lived in Australia for a long time, and all your mates at work were English as well.
Yeah.
All lads in office were English.
Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna add kettle.
Kettle.
I couldn't live without a kettle now. The kettle will always be in my future everywhere.
How the fuck does anyone not have a kettle? Like?
Yeah, that is one thing he's introduced to me.
Right, next.
Okay, American Christmas dinner versus British Christmas dinner. Thoughts?
Well, American, for me, in Taylor's household, because her dad's Mexican, we have Mexican food at Christmas.
Yeah.
So I love Mexican food, but I wouldn't choose it at Christmas.
Yeah.
At Christmas, I want my English stuff, 100%.
Yeah.
Even though turkey can be dry, I still want it. I still want it because it's Christmas. It means that it's Christmas. All the stuff in turkey, pigs in blankets, roasty, or whatever the fuck you put on your Christmas dinner, I want all that. Even the sprouts, they've got to be there, even though I don't eat them because they're shy, because my mum boils them.
Why were you both in Australia when you met each other?
Just travelling, just fancied a bit of a different thing, weren't it? I'd split up with someone in the past, and I'd been to Sydney before, and I had a best mate, Gaz, who lived in Sydney anyway, and he goes, oh, why don't you just come back here? Because you just split up with Bird and you've got nothing else to do. And I just thought, I either look for a job in Preston or I go to Australia and have a look at Sydney again. So, easy decision, like.
Yeah. I had an internship in Australia that was only going to be for 3 months, and then I just was having too much fun, and I became a scuba dive instructor and was in the ocean every single day. And then obviously COVID happened, so I chose to stay there because life was pretty good there, because I could just go to the beach while everybody was in lockdown. You could still walk and go outside and stuff like that. And then we met.
It was the best place ever to be during COVID as well, because
yeah.
you just went to the beach and got it to see.
Yeah.
It were easy.
As a fellow Northerner, what is Alex's go-to chip shop order?
Well, chippy or Chinese chippy. Well, the one I go to, the one me and family go to all the time, Happy Valley, it's a Chinese chippy. So my order would be, ideal order, no holes barred. I get a chip barm and gravy or a chip barm and curry. I get a big fish, a massive like fried cod or haddock or whatever they're using, massive fish, mushy peas, and then I get salt and pepper chicken as well. And then I'd probably share all that with someone else. So like 2 people go at it. Salt and pepper chicken, chip barm and gravy,
Sometimes
chip barm and
chicken
curry.
Fried rice, that's what I had.
Chicken fried rice as well,
yeah.
or king prawn fried rice, something like that.
What about just a regular chippy, not a Chinese chippy?
Regular chippy order. It'd have to be fish and chips.
Yeah.
With mushy peas, or chip barm and gravy if you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because that was the one we used to have as kids because it was cheap. Chip barm and gravy or curry, 50-50 on them, both class.
What is my family heritage? I'm Mexican, and my mom's Italian.
So Mexican, Italian.
Yeah.
I'm definitely neither of them.
All right.
Don't know what I am.
This is for you. Do you think that we'll get the big 3 contracts sorted at LFC?
Van Dijk and Salah defo. Trent could go either way.
It's January 2nd today, so by the time we post this, something could happen or something couldn't. So just.
I read everything. To be honest, I read Twitter all day, every day. It could go either way on Trent. Virgil and Salah will stay.
Okay. As an American, do you love England or America more? I'd love to visit England. As an American, I probably love England more. Probably because it's just, everything's more exciting to me. Whereas growing up here in the States, everything's kind of, I just roll my eyes at everything because it just feels so, I don't know. Being away from the US for so long, I've seen so much negativity about the US that it's a little bit harder to look at things around here in a more positive light. Where when I look at England, everything's new and exciting, and I love the humor and I love the banter. And there's so many places I still haven't been in England. So probably right now I love England more, but I'd say both places have its pros and cons. But if you have a chance to visit England, definitely try to do so because it's a really fun place.
Yeah, when you're English, it's not as good as if you're not English.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed England more having Taylor with me.
Yeah.
Because I can get to show her all different stuff. So if you're an English person, you get to show someone else around your country and why you're proud of it. It makes you feel like you're proud to be English. Yeah. Whereas if you've got no one else in your life that's not from there, you're not asked about like how proud you are. You just think, oh, shit all.
Just normal
Miserable
for
weather.
you, isn't it?
It's just normal. That's just your life.
Yeah. This one says Saints staying up this season.
Southampton. For me, no. I think you've gone already, and I think Tyler Dibbling, best player at the club, he's going to go as well. People are looking at him. Be even worse without him. Just got to like make your plans for the Championship, basically.
Will Liverpool win the Premier League?
If I'm being quoted on this right now at this moment,
January 2nd, 2025.
the thing is, right, as a Liverpool fan, you shouldn't jinx it. You shouldn't say, yeah, of course we will win the league and all that. But I've been a Liverpool fan the last, how many years? 37 years. And there's been years where we didn't quite win it, and I thought it could go either way. City probably do it. With City's form this year, I think if I said that someone else would win it and it's not Liverpool, I don't know who I would say. I don't think Arsenal are good enough. I don't think Chelsea are good enough. I don't think City are doing it this year. So it's got to be Liverpool, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
why
tough
would we
to
not?
say, though, because anything can happen, can it, right? Like, anything in the world can happen.
I'm not saying that from a biased perspective either. I'm just thinking, like, it takes something out, like, really unlucky for us not to win it. So, like, say Mohamed Salah got injured next week, there's a chance we wouldn't win it. Yeah. But at this exact moment when we're talking, there's no reason why we shouldn't win it.
Yeah. We get a lot of questions, there's multiple ones of these, asking, like, what our plan is. Are we staying in the US? We get that a lot. We have no idea. We just live our life and just see what happens next. Ideally, our goal, we would love to do half and half in the US, half in the UK, because both places obviously are our homes and they mean a lot to us. So we don't really have a set in stone what's going to happen. We have no idea. We just go with the flow.
I didn't think we'd be in Oz for as long as we were. And Taylor was in Australia for 6 years. I was there 8 years. When I turned up, I thought I might do a year. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like anything can happen. And we've lived me especially, I've lived such a weird life since I was 18. Yeah. And I've been back and forward to Preston and to England the whole time since I was 18. But I've never really lived in England for more than a year and a bit at a time. I'd say about a year's the max, and then I go somewhere else. I travel again. So I'm just used to this nomadic, like not really having a stable lifestyle. It's been a bit of a weird example of a northerner, really. But obviously you're always northern because you're from the north. But I've had a bit of a up and down roller coaster kind of life.
Yeah. People say like, where are you going to end up permanently? I don't really like the word permanently because we're both such like travel people that we'd want to be in a different place all the time. So it's hard to answer that question because we don't know.
You just got really American there, in that.
Did I?
Yeah.
But how is Dale?
Fucking Dale.
Tay, Taylor, Alex. Tay and Alex. Not Dale.
Dale
not
can
Tay.
get fucked.
I understand now. But yes, in the US we don't use XX. There's no XX after a message. I understand what it is now because of Australia too. But we don't use XX. But I get it.
To be fair, yeah, I do as well. As soon as I saw what Taylor told me, like people are calling you Dale, I'd say, what? Idiots. But then I looked at the thing, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, to an English person, that looks like T-A-N, Dale, XX.
Yeah.
And that's the only country in the world, England, where that would have been a thing.
Yeah.
But I totally get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not Dale.
Tay?
I've never been Dale. I'll always be Alex.
This person says, peony or shite, tell Alex.
Correct. That's the easiest one to answer. I totally agree with you. And if they were any better, they'd be in Prem, wouldn't they?
What's the best thing to put on a barm that shouldn't go on a barm? Like a pie or super noodles?
Best thing ever to go on a barm?
Yeah.
Pie.
Like, probably a pie.
Pie barm from Wigan.
Yeah.
You see it and you think, that's ridiculous, disgusting. You have it and you go, I'll always have that.
This is from me. What's your favourite thing about England? It's probably just going to be the people and the humour. I feel like everywhere you go, you're always laughing, or everyone's always making a joke. Even if people are, I guess, miserable, you could say. Like, there's still always laughter and, like, a human behind that person that kind of, you feel like people care. Whether they're just very, like, straightforward people, but also very caring, and, like, you just feel good when you're there. I mean, I do. Obviously, I haven't lived there, so I don't know what it's like to live there. I imagine that's a very
I don't
lifestyle.
think English people are very robotic, whereas I think Americans are more robotic.
Yeah.
Americans get told like how to think a lot more than English people, whereas English people are more rebellious, and you only have a one comment away from having a good laugh with an English person. Yeah. Whereas in America, you have to they have to warm up to you for about an hour before you can even approach a bit of humour. Yeah. Like they have to trust who you are, and they're like, oh, so you're from a different place to me, right? So if you say something that I think might be funny or might not be funny, then there's a chance maybe I should laugh. That's how it is in America, and it does my head in, to be honest. But in England, it's like, all right, mate, do you not have any shirts that fit you? Oh, fucking hell, nice one. Yeah. And you're straight on it there.
That's what I love about England. I love that. Okay, would you rather only be allowed to eat beans on toast or jacket potato with cheese?
If you've got beans on jacket, 100% beans, jacket, cheese.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
all day. Beans on toast is only good if there's cheese on it.
Yeah. Fish and chips or roast dinner?
Fish and chips.
What's one thing from England you wish was in America?
One. Got 100.
For me, I would say the humor. I'm always gonna like.
It's the banter. It's the banter with the people.
Yeah.
Knowing you can just open a convo and have a good laugh with anyone.
Yeah.
Like.
How did you find the UK and the north of England? I always say this. I love the north. I love the UK.
If anyone thinks Taylor's faking it when she's really like over the moon in England, she is not. Faking
I get excited like seeing
bit.
cows. When we saw cows in Preston, I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize there's gonna be cows out in the field. I don't see cows. I'm surrounded by desert and walls.
You have to come to where Taylor's grew up to know.
Yeah.
How it's so different where we live.
And it's like brown everywhere here too. So seeing green, like landing in England to me, I'm like, this is beautiful. And like we always say, and everyone else, the whole world probably says, if England had good weather, it'd be the best place. Because it's true, I think so. It's beautiful.
No one would ever leave England if the temperature were good every day.
Every time we've had sunny weather in England, like it's just stunning. Like when we've gone to the lakes and it's just green and it's just like fields and hills.
And everyone's outside in pubs having a good time and that.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Can't beat it.
Fave chocolate bar.
Me?
Yeah, for both of us. Mine's a Yorkie. Well, if we're going to England, mine's a Yorkie. I don't even know what mine would be in US, but Yorkie's my favorite, I think. Yorkie with raisins.
Yeah, I think Yorkie's up there for me as well because I've got a nut allergy. I can't eat a lot of chocolate. Cadbury's shafted me since an early age. Can't eat dairy milk. Can't eat because they do so many like fruit and nut and this, nut and that.
Yeah.
Like you get advised not to eat them if you've got a nut allergy. So I always went more to Nestle, like Kit Kat, and I'd say Kit Kat Chunky would be up there for me, and I'd say Yorkie would be up there.
Yeah.
And I'd say Raisin and Biscuit Yorkie as well. And I used to love Twix until they started putting warnings on saying they had almonds in them. But I used to love like a jumbo Twix back in there. Dip your Twix in a brew.
Fave TV series? For
me, it's either Phoenix Nights, The Royal Family, The Office, English Office.
Yeah.
Or if we're going American, Sopranos and The Wire. Because I love all like cop shows and like mafia and all that stuff. So there's the American part and the English part.
Mine, I love the UK Office, and then Schitt's Creek and New Girl and Friends.
I won't watch any of that shit.
Rangers or Celtic?
Growing up, I got told that Celtic obviously shared a lot of things with Liverpool. You'll Never Walk Alone got sung at Celtic and all that kind of stuff. Rangers, I had loads of mates growing up that were Rangers fans as well. Didn't understand all the rivalry right like that, because Preston, there's loads of Rangers fans in Preston. And I liked them more because I liked my mates. So, totally Rangers. Impartial. No, it's a 50-50 for me. Fair. It's like Celtic because of the Liverpool connection, Rangers because I had mates who supported Rangers. Fair. So, 50-50. Okay,
Nik Nak flavours. The barbecue, the kettle sweet chili and sour cream, or the rib and sauce?
Oh, Nik Naks. Has to be orange bag. Orange bag first. That is. What is it? Nice and spicy, innit?
Oh, nice and spicy.
Rib and sauce is the purple one. I go orange then purple.
What do your parents think about the relationship, and what's the first date story? Both of our parents support everything and love me. His parents love me, my parents love him. So everything's good on yeah, they do. Everything's really good on that end. Everyone gets along, which is good. Our first date was actually the day we met. We were both working and I went to go talk to him. If you've watched the other video, you'll see the story, but I made the first move and I'll always make sure everyone knows that. Basically, we both got off of work at like 2 p.m. and then we went to the beach after, and then we were at the beach all day for like 6-7 hours, just like chatting, going in and out of the water, and that was our first date. It was free.
It was easy, because you didn't need to pay for a lot of dates. No. You could just go for a coffee and walk down the beach.
Yeah, and there's like, loads of people watching, and it was summertime. It was in December, so it was summertime in Australia. So that was our first date. We never really went on like dates out to a restaurant because that's just not us, because that's silly.
We didn't do it awkward like dinners or cinemas or anything like that. We did that later on.
If the two of you had to live in another decade together, which decade would it be? I feel like the 80s would be fun, but like this age in the 80s.
I'd have gone 90s.
Yeah?
Myself.
Like this age in the 90s?
I love the 90s. Because of all the nostalgia, all the fashion, the footy stuff. Like, I thought the 90s were class.
Oh my god, like the 1500s would be cool though. What if we were like royals?
1500s?
What if we were royals or something?
You get tortured, me. Someone would be trying to cut your balls off or something.
Where are you going to travel next? Don't know.
Be somewhere in America, probably.
Yeah. Well, we are going to Vegas again because his brother's coming out. So
my brother's coming in a month's time, so
we have some fun stuff planned with Vegas and kind of just around Arizona.
Play a bit of golf in Arizona and stuff.
And go to Sedona. But there's so much of the US that we want to see, so we have to.
We both want to go to New York, but we haven't booked it yet.
Yeah, New York would be a good one.
Neither of us have been to New York yet.
That's our goal trip. That's probably where we'd like to go next.
That's the one I'd like the most.
Yeah. Butter pie or American barbecue?
Butter pie all day. American barbecue's good, but you don't beat a butter pie.
Why doesn't he support Preston North End? And then afterwards put, it'll annoy him.
It will. It doesn't annoy me. It annoys me that it continues to come up.
Yeah, everybody says it all the time.
I don't know how many excuses you need, but my family were all from Liverpool. My mum's side of family. They were from the docks near Bootle.
Bootle.
My nan used to be in the army, making planes in world wars. My granddad, my nan.
Did she?
Yeah, my granddad were a fighter pilot. Like, we had all the history, the military history in Liverpool, and obviously Liverpool got twatted during war. And we moved to Preston, and my mum moved when she was dead young, so she never got the Scouse accent, but her sister got it, and then it faded out. So my auntie Pam used to have a Scouse accent. Now she doesn't. Well, she didn't at the end. And my grandparents, they were Scouse on my mum's side, obviously. We were Liverpool fans, and my dad were a Liverpool fan anyway. From growing up, he was just a Preston-based Liverpool fan anyway. So
out the womb with the red kit. 2
Liverpool fans, me, both your parents. How are you ever going to go to North End? It was never a thing. Like, my dad used to go and watch North End, but just because it was dead cheap and dead easy. He lived around the corner from North End, growing up in Ribbleton, but there was no chance I was ever going to be a North End fan.
Best British motorway.
M6, innit? Why do I say that? Because it's the only fucking one we use, really.
Where did you two meet? We met in Australia. Most underrated Liverpool player ever, and our current best performer this season.
Oh, best performer this season's tough, innit? You could go down the Mohamed Salah route easy and just say he scores every week, best player in the world, Ballon d'Or, Salon d'Or, whatever you want to say. But for me, Ryan Gravenberch has been the best in terms of, like, he's done it every single week, not had a bad game, and no one expected it at the start of the season. So I'll go Grabo.
Most underrated Liverpool player. He says...
Of all time?
Ever. He says ever. He says, personally, most underrated for me would be Hyypiä or James Milner. I
think Hyypiä got a lot of credit, to be honest. I grew up watching Sammy Hyypiä. I loved him. Hyypiä and Hanshaw playing together. I always thought Hyypiä. I looked up to Hyypiä. I was a centre-half myself when I used to play. I wasn't very good, but I used to try and be like Hyypiä, I guess. I'd say another one that didn't get much credit the whole time. Not enough credit anyway. Joel Matip and Joe Gomez. Both of them two. I'd say Gomez still there. Been there a long time. Never moans, never complains. Carries on with job. Always switching positions. Does whatever he's required to do. Joel Matip again. Got him on a free. Easy. Just a brilliant acquisition for the club. No one really talks about him too much. Both defenders, that's why. Virgil's the only defender that gets loads of credit, to be honest. And there's a reason for that, because he's won at best in the world ever at centre-half. But I think a lot of defenders go under the radar because everyone's all about skill and which goals you scored and
Yeah. One player you can pick to have an injury-free career. He said R9 for him.
I'd agree with that 100%. Because R9 was the best player any of us in our 30s had ever watched. I think Ronaldinho comes close and Zidane comes close, but I think R9, Brazilian Ronaldo, was the player that would have done the most if he'd have had a 15-year unaffected career. I think he would have been up there with your Messis and your Ronaldos and stuff like that. But I mean, different nowadays because everyone stays footy were different back then. Everyone got more injuries and the tackles that were allowed were a lot worse than they are now. So I think the likelihood of injury was higher. I think now if players get injured, they just they feel a little tiny thing they go from
this.
They go from not wrong. They go from 100% to 99 and they get subbed off. Whereas back then, people would be playing at 50%, getting absolutely smashed all the way through the game, and then they'd have to just stay on pitch. Yeah. I know, all day.
Has he taken you to Preston yet? If so, what did you think? Yes, he has. If you haven't seen the videos, you probably have to scroll a bit down on our profile, but we have done a lot in the north. I was over there for 2 months, and I loved Preston. I mean, there wasn't much, but I had a good time, and everyone we talked to was great, so I loved it.
We got a good reception back home last time we went.
Yeah, people are so nice.
People knew us. People had seen a few vids.
Yeah.
All our family and friends are there, so it's just like you feel like you're amongst your own people in Preston, and that's something different from America, to be honest, because I could walk around Taylor's hometown all day and no one's warm to you. No one gives a fuck because no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Whereas in Preston, it's a small town and English people are very warm and they're kind of like, can't wait to hear your story. They'll come up to you in the supermarket. Oh, I've seen you. Oh, how's it going? Like, everyone's on the really same level, I think, in England, especially Preston up north. It's just like one of them things where all the other people get each other.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's just you feel like you're completely alone. Like, no one really gives a shit about anyone else.
Yeah. One from me. Do you prefer going to events in the US, UK, like concerts or sports events? I haven't been to that many, I guess, concerts or events between the two. I have been to an NFL game and an NBA game, and I've been to Anfield twice now, and obviously I'm going to say the UK was 100 times better. Both times we went on Anfield were amazing. The atmosphere is really good. So I'd say UK wins every single time for me on that one.
I think sports atmosphere is totally different. I'm not going to sit here and say it's shit in America,
I would say one's
like,
better than the other. It's just kind of what you grow up with and what you're used to and the type of culture that's surrounded by it. But I don't really watch a lot of sports in general, so that's a bit hard for me to say. I just watch Liverpool now. And I'd say I love that more.
It just means a lot more to the people, I think, in England, the football. I'm not just going to say Liverpool, Scousers, whatever, but footy in England means more to people than even the NFL in the US.
Yeah, I'd agree with
because if your team loses at NFL, you have a bad afternoon.
Yeah.
If your team loses in England, you have a bad week.
Yeah.
And that's the way I'd describe it.
Most Yank women like Hugh Grant, you went for the opposite. Bit of a rough, dirty northern. Explain.
I'm definitely not like Hugh Grant, I'll tell you that.
I didn't go for, I don't know, when I met him, I thought he was very attractive. He had a nice smile, and then I heard his accent, and I love accents, and his accent was unique. I didn't think it was English. Like, if you watched the other video, I thought he was Irish. But he was attractive to me, so I was like, let's get to know this guy. So it wasn't like I wasn't seeking out a Hugh Grant or anything. I just saw a cute guy across the street and shoot my shot type thing.
If you said alright, I'd do the rest.
What's the deal with your dad being mad hench? Dad works out for like 2 hours every single day. Dad also has heart failure, so the man's is working against some big obstacles and does quite well for himself. So that's Dad. Alex, thoughts on Big Dunc?
Big Dunc, Duncan Ferguson.
COYB.
What?
COYB.
Come on, you Blues.
Oh, I don't know.
Everton fan.
Oh, right.
Duncan Ferguson, Everton player, tough lad. Loved him, to be honest. Like, do I like Everton players? No, do I fuck? But he's my kind of footballer. I grew up in I was a centre back. I'm about 6'3". So what I used to be useful for at footy, I was never the best player, but I like to edit, I like to tackle, I like to get under opponents, I like to give it that one a little bit. And I used to be like the person who, like, I used to have to mark the tough lad on the other team, or I used to have to like mix it up with people. And if there were a fight, I'd always be involved, either splitting it up or being in it myself. Duncan Ferguson, Alan Shearer, Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane, all them type of footy players, Steven Gerrard, of course, all them type of footy players were my favourite players because you had the skill ones, your R9s, Ronaldinho, Zidane, or you had the tough lads that you respected, like Rooney and all the rest of them lot, where they wouldn't give you an inch on pitch, and that's what we used to play. So I'd say full respect to Big Dunc.
Favourite sauce?
Nando's.
Go on.
I usually go medium or hot, but medium's more for like you chill out, put it on your eggs. Hot's for chicken.
Okay. You have to shave your hair off like Arnie Slot if we win the league.
Done.
You heard it.
No, what I'll do with that is... what I'll do with that is we'll do a thing on end of season where like someone will say Alex has to do a forfeit or something at end of league if Liverpool win league, and there's 3 or 4 different options. I don't know why there's a forfeit if we win league. I'll be buzzing like, what the fuck? I'll take my pants off and...
No, I think shave your head if you win the league.
No.
Yeah. Someone just put could state of that.
What, you're on about me here? Yeah, you're right.
We'll answer more questions later.